Hello and welcome back to another installment in Project Xpack. It's time to get this thing ready for the incoming season. Things need done. Things have escalated slightly. In true Kris Garage form, I have MOT booked on Saturday. This is Wednesday. And I have a show that I've been accepted for indoors next weekend. So that's next Friday. So I have about 9 days to get it ready for a show and about 3 to get it ready for MOT. And there's a lot to be done. So I'll bring you in and show you the main culprit that I'm worried about. Whenever I cleaned this car back at the start, just before it went to the body shop, I noticed that there was a battery tray that had been cut into the inner wing and welded up again. So I thought nothing of it and just ran over a few of the wee dodgy bits with a welder, buffed it back and filled over it thinking it'd be grand. It's not grand. The boy before me that welded that in buffed it all back too thin and it has cracked. So it's going to need cut out and a new bit set in. So to do that, I don't intend to cut out the whole thing. It's only this bit and well, that bit there is actually okay, but definitely this crack here. Where can you see it? It's not good. So yeah, as I say, MOT is on Saturday, and I would like it done before then because it probably isn't the safest, to be honest, having the front end of your car about to disattach itself from the rear end. So, as I say, I've been putting this off for a long time because it means that I have to cut into my lovely paint. Although, it seems to have done a good job of that as it is. So, anyway, I'm going to mask up this whole engine bay so I'm not getting it all filler dust. And cut these two wee sections out. It doesn't seem to be too bad, I don't think. No, it hasn't cracked down that side. It's cracked a wee bit down there. But I don't think it's horrendous. I might be able to get at that from the far side of the inner wing, sorry, and where the wheel is. I did not want to do this, folks, but needs must. So, apologies for the rain, you might not be able to hear me, but I hate masking up. I could never be a body man. The reason that I am masking everything up properly is because obviously once I cut this, there's going to be dust goes everywhere, it'll cover the engine bay, it'll be hard to clean off, but also I'm going to need to paint it, so I might as well mask it all up now and try and get ready for, I'm just going to blow in down the inner wings. I'm going to paint the top nicely and just blow it in to try and blend it down the sides, sort of down in here. One more bit of plastic really to go on this wing, and then one more whenever I'm ready to paint will go on over the whole car. At the moment I want to leave the driver's door accessible so that I can get in and move it. Yeah, I think it's time to go digging to see how bad this damage really is. Well, that went well. It's actually not as bad as I thought, but yeah, I'll make a plan of attack here and see what's going on. You can actually see daylight through there. Ish, focus. So I'll make a plan of attack. It's not thin there at all. I thought it was thin, so I might just need to weld up the poor welding. Weld over it again, fill it and go, because I honestly think that was just filler bubbling through from the cracks underneath when it flexed. So I'll try and get it perfectly flat and go from there. This one, yeah, I think that needs hammered up. I think with the bonnet closing on it, it's not helped that either. It's put a bit more pressure on it there and bowed that down. So I'll have to lift this a bit, this wee bit. It's sunk there. Lift it and re-weld it, I think, and it should be okay. Okay, so I have went ahead and cleaned it all back on the underside as well, and I have cut the slits out. So now I'm going to try and hammer and dolly this back up straight. The plan is to get these sitting straight again, up tight, and get a bit of 3mm plate underneath, drill a load of holes in it, plug weld it the whole way up. Both of these, whenever they're sitting straight, then V the cracks out even more and sizzle through onto the 3mm plate, so it should be hopefully strong enough. I mean, it's not concours by any means, but it'll hopefully do the job. Okay, so it may not be the prettiest, but it's good and strong. It's not flexing anymore. So yeah, I'm going to count that as a win. Time is of the essence. I have a show, as I've already explained to you, next week, an MOT in 2 or 3 days. So I'm going to get this into epoxy primer first of all to seal it, and then I can start filling over the top of it. Okay, so epoxy is on and it has dried, so it's time to mix up some filler. I am not a body man by any stretch of the imagination, so please don't judge me. I'm just doing this by feel. And that went well. Now, I don't know if I've said this already in this clip, but I am not a body man, so please don't judge me. You're judging me, aren't you? Go on then. Tell me in the comments just how bad a job I've just done. so she's into primer. Need to wet sand it all next. I've already hit this with Scotch-Brite to dull and key the existing paint. I stupidly tried to sand before it was ready. So I need to touch that in, wait for it to dry and go again. A few wee bits here that need sanded a wee bit more, but I am very happy with that considering I am not a body man. So I'll take it. Added bonus of painting is you have a heater going, so it's nice and toasty in here. Might mean that you can't hear me over the sound of it, but nonetheless. Next step, as I say, wait for this to dry, wet sand it, let that dry, hit it a wipe with a tack rag, and then hopefully get base coat on. Okay, so I don't think I'll ever be properly ready for this, so there's always find stuff I need to fix. I have it sitting there pretty nice. I'm very proud of it actually at the moment. So if I can get the base coat on now, and that'll be the real test to see how it looks. It's in primer. I'll show you a couple of shots of it in primer. It's all flatted back with 600, tack ragged. I think it's as good as I'm going to personally. I'm not a body man. Got my paint mixed up. It's a metallic, so I'm going to put base on, and then I have a fancy 2K activator aerosol thing to put the top coat on. Here goes nothing. Somebody put a stupid turbo in the way. Let's try again for round 2. In fact, I never even got up in there, so let's finish off round 1. Now then, which way is this aerosol spraying? Spraying like that, I think that's right. It's just hard to get an aerosol to spray where I need to spray it, to be honest. Try and get that bit down in the side done first there, just to make sure it's all covered. Because then at least I can get a nice good heavy coat on the top here. Here goes another coat on top then. Okay, so since I had success up here, it's all built again. There was a crack in here where the fiberglass met the steel, so I filled it, and I'm going to have a go at sanding and painting it too. Can't really see it, it's in behind the headlight bezel. Also, split rims. I tried this trick that I think I saw on flipping Instagram Reels or somewhere, that you take a bin bag, you find the center, you measure from there to wherever you want to stretch it to, snip it off, and pull it out round it, and it has flipping worked. Definitely a life hack that I wish I knew a long time ago instead of messing about with playing cards and stuff. Split rims. Look at the girth on that. 245, 45, 16. She is wide. So that's the rear, obviously. That's the front. That's a 205/45, which is getting changed tomorrow to 225/45. It's just a wee bit stretchy and not high enough profile for my liking, so I'll switch up to a 225 and see if that helps. Up in there then, that's the plates that are all spot welded and plug welded and seam welded and everything in strengthener wise. That's them in and nicely seam sealed. Probably not the way you're meant to do it, but it'll be strong enough for me. Getting a bit carried away here now. I never actually painted this where I welded that on, so I've epoxy primed that. Also, the hole underneath has now been done with Schultz. 3,500 miles ago, well, 3,000 miles ago roughly, whenever I first got this on the road, I told myself, I'll do that next week. But, you know yourself, it never happened. I just enjoyed driving it too much. So, to protect it from the weather and the fact that it's got MOT tomorrow might have something to do with it as well. So, yeah, we will try and get her through MOT and hopefully it passes. Yes, anyway, on to epoxy priming and painting some wheel centers. I think I'm going to do one first to see what it looks like before I commit to all four, because it's a bit easier to strip back one than four. So, on to the next bit. Okay, so first coat of like a very light coat is on in there. The more I put on, hopefully it'll lighten out the same as the up there it did, and it matched perfectly there, so I don't see why it wouldn't there. It's time to get this wheel that's now dry in primer into colour. Pretty happy with that. They are surprisingly hard to paint to get into all the angles. But yes, that's that one wheel done anyway. Over here, back onto this. Clear coat is now on. That's pretty good. Can't really even see where it did the blend, so yes, happy days. I think that's going to do it for me tonight. It's 11 o'clock again for about the fourth night in a row out here. Yeah, I will let that do me and we'll catch up again in the morning. Tomorrow's MOT day, so. Okay, so you join me after the MOT, which it failed, but not on much, thankfully. One ball joint, and the twat here forgot to change the number plates from the black and silver over to the white and black. So that's now done. Both bottom ball joints and both track control arms are all replaced. Did the anti-roll bar bushings as well while it was in there. So that's booked for a retest for, it'll be through by the time you see this video. So that's all it failed on. Very happy on that, considering it's the first time it's been tested since I built the car from scratch. So yes, happy enough with that. Now then, tonight has been mainly prepping stuff, epoxy priming this evening. I've done the wheels and the front slam panel, rad support, intercooler bracket, oil cooler bracket, radiator support. If I've already said that, I don't know, but yes, that thing is getting painted because now that this is all shiny again, this just wasn't cutting it. So yes, I want to do the strut brace as well before the show if possible. It's starting to show its age. Wonder, can you? Sort of can. There's chunks missing out of it, and It's just not looking good. So I need to get that done. So, don't know how much you can hear here or not, to be honest, but you joined me on the way to MOT again. Failed the first time on a track control arm ball joint on the driver's side. So I replaced both sides just to be safe for 50 quid, why would I not? Changed the bushings and stuff too, so all should be good. I also have changed the number plates from the black and silver over the correct white and yellow ones. So we'll see, hopefully it passes. I don't see why it shouldn't, because I only really got to detect what it failed on the first time. So yeah, until then, enjoy some nice time-lapse footage of me finally out driving the Capri. I might let that do me for this episode. There's been a lot going on. I'm not a professional body man, so that's something. Very happy with how that inner wing all turned out in there. Very, very happy. I also don't know if I showed you, you can see it even, the repair down in there. You can't even see where it was at. So, quite happy indeed. As said, that shall do me. Thank you very much for sticking around. I know that I haven't been as active on the Xpack as of late, but that's because it was done, it was driving. There is more to do yet. I want to get these wheels all fitted up. I have rebuilt my brake calipers. I wonder, where are they at? Here. So I have a set of nice Brimbos to go on. I already have Brimbos on, but they're a nice painty set, basically. I have been out this week every night until between 10:30 and midnight. So it is now 10:05. By the time I get home, it'll be 10:30 again. So on that note, all the best. Please do check out my website for any merchandise and spare parts and stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.